Hello, everyone. This is Holly, another weekly hangout, and I'm sharing the link on our 7H learning website. So 7, SEVENH.ning.com. Sign up to join. It's free. Everything on the site is free, but you must be a member of 7H to join our weekly hangouts. I have a weekly hangout currently on Sundays at this time. That is open conversation practice, best for upper, intermediate, or above level speakers. But anyone is welcome to join and practice listening and maybe jumping in now and then. And hopefully soon a few others will join us here. 7H is a website designed for serious learners of English, serious as in willing to practice, willing to put yourself out there. As adults, it can be very challenging to get over that intimidation, loss of dignity factor in speaking another language. Many of our current active members started at a much lower level and have gradually, greatly improved competence and confidence. So I hope you will join us as well. On the site, we have many different discussions that you can join to practice one sentence at a time or more your English, receive feedback, and grow your confidence and competence. So please visit the site. You can visit without joining, but to post a reply, to really practice and improve, join us. Try it. It's a friendly community where we try hard to welcome you and to help you. So you need to be willing to make mistakes, willing to learn from those mistakes and try again, knowing you're in a welcome community that will not try to offend you. We try to help and encourage. Meanwhile, learning with others from around the world is fascinating. The simplest things lead to really unusual discussions. And there's Diana. Hello. Can you hear me, Diana? I don't hear you. She has a new picture. There she is.
Hello, Polly.
Hello, Jenna. Hello, Diana. You look beautiful, both of you.
Thank you. Thanks.
How
are you? How are you? I want 12 cats. You want 12 cats? Oh my goodness, I'll get
12 cats? Oh my. My daughter wants 5 dogs, and I think that's crazy.
No.
But Božena, when you come to the US, you need to visit my brother. My brother and his wife have 20-some cats.
Oh my goodness.
And they have a cattery, a real cat house built in, a cat room, a cattery built into their house. They love cats. So you should visit Tom and Debbie.
Well, actually, Božena is afraid of our own pet cat. The only one. I don't know what is she going to do with 12 of them. So I know for sure that I will get crazy even with 2 in our small apartment. I will go into the room and I will hear like, cat. Oh, help me! I have 2 cats. Take her 1 cat. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Wow, your English is really improving, Božena. More and more. Nice. Well, Diana, you look wonderful. I like your longer hair growing back.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. and I've been seeing little snippets of how busy you've been. Yeah.
Where have you seen it? Pardon?
I just posts on Facebook and
Yeah,
things
yeah.
sharing.
Yes, actually, we are, like every 2 years, we're supposed to go to the hospital I supposed to take Vagina to the hospital for the diagnosis, and now it's just this very moment, just we are going inoculation.
It's not no oculation and
No.
no tests. No tests.
No tests
No
anymore.
oculation. But yesterday I was doing tests. I was doing tests, and I'm afraid of tests.
Yeah.
Blood test. She does blood tests. She hates blood tests.
Yesterday,
She cries and yeah. Well, but
I don't like blood tests either.
yeah, nobody likes blood tests.
I have
But
to
probably
go with you,
you're not yelling and screaming and crying. Just you're not asking the doctor not to do it. Just Vagina does all this. But that's fine.
I have yellow belt on karate.
So you're a strong girl. You should be able to find some games to help you with that. I have to have two blood works drawn in 3 weeks, and I'm not looking forward to it either. Maybe I'll try Bozhana's trick and say no.
Yeah. So yeah, just one more thing to my schedule. I'm trying to get rid of all this, but I have to do it. Okay. She wants me to show you our new cat. This is our new cat. Yeah.
Yes.
And she's afraid of this cat.
Well, yeah, she is. She does not like birds. That's the problem that we still have. And I actually tried. I wanted this cat to be our therapy kind of cat, But still, when she is in the playful mood, Bozhana got scared. And yeah. Yes. She can, when she's quiet and calm, she can, stroke her and pat her, but
Hunter was not. Somebody's meowing.
Bozhana, you're talking too quick. Nobody can understand you. Chatterbox. But that's fine. That's her, her moments to.
So that's a white cat, and I have heard that cats do not like to get baths. So what do you do when you have a white cat and cats don't like to have baths?
Well, actually, she was clean. I didn't clean her. Hello, Gerard. Hello.
Gerard.
Yay. Yeah, she's very clean. She's cleaning herself beautifully, so I didn't have to do anything.
But what about in the spring when it's muddy season?
Well,
she's inside cat.
Stay-at-home cat. She's not going outside.
Okay, inside cat. Okay.
Because we don't have the place. It's an apartment building. A lot of people around. No. She's staying home.
Okay.
So she will be as clean as possible.
I've been seeing more. I see a big teddy bear too. I've been seeing more people here walking their cats on a leash.
Yeah.
This also.
Well, no, not this craze here yet. So probably we're a couple of years behind you guys.
Well, I don't know if it's a craze or if it's for safety and urbanization, and people won't allow loose animals, or else they're trapped and taken. So,
well, cats they tend to go, up the trees. That's why people don't want them.
Yes, this too. Yeah. So there are practical reasons. And the cats seem to be okay on a leash, just like many dogs are. But you're also still busy with your interpreting. And your tutoring?
Tutoring, yes, tutoring, a lot of tutoring now. Well, okay, busy with Bojana, so in between, I'm trying to do that. I'm meeting guys once a week for our book club. So we are discussing
Yes,
short.
I see. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So and that's what just the time in between Saturdays goes very, very quick. I
Yeah.
sometimes don't even realize how quick it is, just and
Yeah.
okay, it's Thursday. I don't even schedule the new story. So and then I just very, very quick. So but okay, I really enjoy discussing stories with them.
Yes. How many usually attend?
3, 4.
Yeah. So still the challenge of getting growing is
Yeah,
such a-
yes, exactly. So I Ivan usually says that he knows exactly what to expect from our group.
Poor Ivan.
Poor Ivan, he knows exactly what to expect from us. It's not so exciting.
But I never know what to expect when he's there. So- and I don't know if he thinks he's not welcome today. He's welcome. To come
I don't
talk
think
about Hillary and I may not say much, but he's welcome to try.
Bojana, I'm sorry, Gerard. Bojana asks, who is there on your background? Who is the woman? Is it your sister?
My sister.
Yeah. Your sister or your wife? Just
No, my sister, my younger sister.
I missed. Someone walked by and I missed it. Huh?
Right.
I am at her home.
Yes, and Bojana notices everything, and asking questions. Nice.
Okay.
Nice. And the psychologist actually told me on Friday that Bojana do not ask questions. So that's an exception for you, Gerard. Okay. Ivan, hello. Bojana will come. Ivan, Bojana says, Ivan.
Hello.
She cannot hear you anymore because I put on my headphones, but background effects, just Bojana.
Ivan, are you in Russia?
Yes. Yes, I
Still
am.
in Russia.
You never know with that guy, huh? Been a busy year of travel.
Yeah. So Bojana asks this question all the time. Every time she sees Ivan, where are you? Are you still in Russia?
Yeah.
I
Maybe
thought maybe you were off
into-
on the river.
maybe in 2 weeks I will have another answer.
Okay, let's hope. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And what comes next, or don't you say yet?
Surprise?
It's not surprise. It's not a secret, but it's not really clear now. So it's something toward Asia, but I didn't choose the exact destination.
Okay.
Philippines?
Yes, I think about that. Yes, because it's a way to
Korea.
it's a way to continue my Spanish exercises in Philippines.
Yeah, okay.
As I said, I never know what to expect when Ivan.
That's good. That's good. Just to keep us alert, right?
Yeah. I'm actually thinking of, speaking of alert, reminds me of, I keep meaning to set up more Google alerts. Do any of you use Google alerts?
Not really.
Do you know
No.
about them? You can set up us anytime, red alert, anytime someone or something's name appears in the news, Google will send you an email notice and a link to whatever was shared online. So I used to do this with Loop. So if anybody ever mentioned Loop, I would get a notice about it. My brother does it with all of his siblings. So whenever we are in the news, he hears about it and sometimes makes comments.
Wow. So your siblings are in the news.
It's sort of a way of online stalking, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm a little uncomfortable with it, but a few, I was thinking about trying for a few things that news items, opioid crisis, and things that I'm
Mm.
aging, and certain things, that medical conditions that have my attention recently.
Mm.
It's on my to-do list. I've been sorting through my paper piles again, as I'm mentally able to deal with more and more. I've been. It's amazing what I recycle. I'm better and better at letting it go. So
Great.
the oldest note I found on my to-do list so far is from 2006. That's the year of the fire. So I have things going back to since I started my paper notes.
Okay, so this is still on your to-do list? Is
I
it like
let it go.
yeah, okay, let it go. Nice, good.
So I have a lot more paper to start wood stove fires with.
Nice.
So seems to be my winter time activity is to purge as much as possible.
Mhm. Good.
Uh-oh. Red alert issued. Do I want to look at this?
Well, you never know.
I'm not allowed. Must be Instagram or something. No, I don't know. It's giving me an error. It won't let me open it. So
Okay, but I spent 5 minutes to find, gender-related picture about red alert.
Yes.
Most of them,
It took that long.
yes, most of them surprisingly contain, one lady undressed or something. So
So yeah, Ivan felt sorry for us, so he decided to show us the picture which we can easily, see. And Bojana is somewhere flying around. Yeah, good of you. Thank you.
That's why I spent time, to find it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a special abbreviation for that, not safe for work. NSFW.
Yeah.
Okay.
So why am I not allowed to open it?
I don't know, because you are an American.
Yes.
Okay. I imagine there are some pretty evil anti-US things flying around right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Very, very diplomatic. Mm-hmm.
Well, just you should. It is better not to say words, just than to say and then regret what you just said, right?
Right. Especially in Hangout. I've been tempted to delete a couple of our Hangouts, but I haven't.
Wow.
Uh,
What did you guys discuss?
I think part of me wants to have somebody knocking on my door to haul me away. Oh, such an idiot. Anyway. So I have some sort of exciting news that I will be sharing in a week or so. So you'll have to visit 7H to see a blog post in a week or so.
Okay.
So if Ivan can be mysterious, I'll be mysterious too.
Oh my goodness, everybody's so mysterious now.
I don't know as it will surprise any of you, but but maybe I still can. So what is your new cat's name?
Sophia.
Sophia.
Yeah.
Very
Sophie.
name. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, Bojana picked that name. What's the title of this cartoon, Bojana, that you like? Secret Life of Pets. Yes, she knows. Have you watched this cartoon? So
Yeah.
in Ukrainian version, the cat over there, her name was Sofa, which is the short name of Sophia, you know. So that's why we called her Sofa, which is Sophia, the short name of that. So after that cat. And that cat actually was just huge and round, you know, and very, very, you know, very independent. Independent, go into the fridge, you know, taking everything she needs out of the fridge, so something like that. So, and actually, and that one was taken from the streets. She was, you know, somebody just let her go, like some people do that. And she was so beautiful, and she was so tiny and so, well, thin. And now she reminds me of that cat, actually, because they say that, you know, she lives up to the name now.
Hey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're getting quiet. So we need I didn't prepare a topic today.
No. Maybe guys know some topics, some exciting news.
My topics are banned.
What was your topic?
Not banned. Now that's not true.
The 8th of Mars.
I'm not likely to respond much, and I'll try to deflect, but they're not banned. Did any of you watch the Olympics? I'm very curious from many perspectives. I did not this year.
No, I didn't. I did not have time to watch, so I don't have television. I'm not even sure if it is, you know, aired here on television.
Original. It's Chloe.
Okay, Chloe, I understand. Go, please go. Oh my goodness, she's talking too much. She's talking and I'm talking.
Nice.
I never watch sports events. I mostly don't watch TV, but it's impossible to not get known now in Russia that we won this hockey match, because it's everywhere on internet, on TV. It's everywhere. We like such events. We like those wins. So a lot of them.
Yeah, I usually watch a fair amount of the Winter Olympics, but not been watching much TV at all, and I didn't feel drawn to even try. I don't like how the events of the past few years of just wreaking havoc on who I am and what I think, and the idea of privilege and how much privilege I take for granted, and how weird the world is and what it prioritizes or seems to. So I've been getting lost in the trees, doing my tree steward training and planning how to try and bring more people to appreciate trees. So I think I'm just retreating to getting lost in nature as much as possible, or trying to. It's a pretty depressing world. Too often. Yeah. So, and with the flu season here, has the flu season been horrible where you are? I've been avoiding public places because I don't want the flu.
That's right. So unfortunately, I cannot avoid people that much. You know, my favorite crowd is here. You know, and over there it's nasty. So I'm trying as much as I can to avoid them, but I still have to commute. You know, Bojana has to commute, so I have to use public transportation. So it's flu season now. We're trying to stay healthy. So, and knock on wood, we are. Yeah.
Right.
So
Brighter side, we have early spring that may soon be frozen, but right now we have daffodils in February.
Wow.
Spring, a month early. Yeah.
Well, and actually it is very cold today. It was okay, but today it's minus 18.
Yeah,
minus
I
18
hear-
centigrade,
I hear
which
that
is
much of Europe is pretty chilly. How cold are you, Gerard?
Now I think +8 or something like this.
I will.
So not hitting all of Europe, huh?
No.
Yeah. I'm afraid to ask Ivan about his temperature.
He typed it and I don't like it at all.
26. Well, it's actually not too bad for his part of the world. It's okay, right? Ivan, not so bad.
It's
Not
bad.
40.
Now I'm weak. I'm got this.
Yeah, you're
Spaniard.
spoiled
Yeah.
by Spain. That's right.
So now it's everything. It's hard. for me.
Cold. How about you kids?
The
How
Mediterranean.
are they taking it?
They adapt in no time. Just
Yes.
instantly. Click. That's
Right.
it's done.
Okay. Yeah.
I want someone to figure out how to bottle that and be able to take it as a dose of medicine, whatever it is that kids have. That quick click. My clicks are
Yeah.
getting slower and slower with every day that goes by. Yeah, a bit of that, huh?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, but they ask me. They go to the map and ask Dad, please tell me in this place it's hot now or not, and in this place and in this place, and can I swim there? Can I swim there?
Okay. Nice. So they enjoy that. Those
You guys
students,
spend
right?
in the snow there, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, I surprised how many they got from all that, because when we were in the trip, I rarely see them like surprised or something like this. But now they continue to surprise me by those comparisons. You know that it's not like we saw that. And do you remember in Africa we had that and those and many things.
Yeah, comparison. Yeah,
Mhm.
and that's such a gift you're giving them, Ivan.
Yeah.
To go forward. Yeah,
Nice.
wonderful. Mm.
How about your wife? Does she appreciate you dragging her around the world with the baby in her bosom?
Well, yes, actually,
Yes,
it's.
nice. I
Actually,
never asked her, but I said yes.
Well, I prefer to not ask, because it's.
Yeah,
well,
yes, exactly. That's what I thought, just I prefer not to ask in order not to get the wrong answer. That's
Yes.
I wouldn't like. Yeah,
Actually, it's kind of my ideology.
yes,
What
motto,
was it?
yes.
Yes. Because if I ask people and they answer not what I expect, what should I do with that? I should to have a confrontation because of that. I should to convince them or
For
to
about
make
3
an.
weeks, right? That's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it's better to just to declare that at Monday we will go there.
So here's an idiom for you. If you don't know it, you would probably understand and appreciate this. It's not a very pleasant one, really, but perhaps fits what you're talking about. Oh, goodness. I just had a thought. Oh, Gerard had a question. That's right. I had a
Yeah, the
question for
question.
you too. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you say in your languages when the members of a couple there is something bad to talk about, that we say we must talk, and when we must talk, that means
You
not
must talk. Yeah.
something bad.
That means that, yes, that you should actually run and not talk at that moment, right?
That's bad news, especially for
One's-
men.
One's complete name, like Warren August Guthrie.
We need to talk. Yes, we need to talk. Right? Yeah.
So, especially when women say that to their partner, That's bad news.
Yep. But it works in reverse too, and it works with children sometimes. Yeah.
But actually, men usually they tend to avoid those types of talks. Don't you
Yes.
think? So I think that it is very seldom when men initiate this talk. So they
Except in
just
the
try.
workplace. In the workplace. the men-
Probably, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sort of like the boss will kind of, or supervisor is like, oops, Holly was a rebel again and overstepped her.
But
her place.
I noticed that recently we almost avoid all this, talks, not pleasant talks. If there is some not pleasant point, you will get it by email. You will not go to the meeting to get it face to face. You will go there if you're a good guy, but if you're a bad guy, you just get an email.
Really?
Good point.
From my experience.
Mhm.
Mm.
Okay. I've been a member of an office such a long time ago that I don't know all the new rules.
Yeah, right. I'm surprised at how many offices still keep their landline number. I keep expecting that to change more, but it hasn't. Still, for many businesses, you still have the old phones from quite a few years ago and the old mindset. It amazes me how few workplaces use FaceTime or video calls when they get a call. It seems like you should answer that way as a smart way to be more personal with your business dealings.
But I think it's not everywhere. It's only on what's the word for that? Detained countries. countries that not go to with progress, because for instance in Japan or in China it's impossible to use a landline. You use WeChat, you use internet, all these things.
Right.
Yes. So you're talking about just a old-fashioned country like America.
When that hit, very interesting point. Yeah, like teachers, the change in teachers to overcome. Yes, and Gerard, go ahead. And I have a question for you when you're done.
In Spain, we keep our landline number, but the technology is with internet. So we have our phone at home, but it uses the internet instead of the copper wire, the old copper wire.
So you mean you have the underground?
In my case, I use optical fiber. So the router.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to come up with.
The router has I connect the telephone to the router.
Oh, as the internet phones.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, it's called SIP. I don't know how to pronounce it correct, but it's called SIP. It's telephone over the internet. So it's landline are obsolete now. It's hard to find them. You can find them only in places where it's especially reliable, like army bases or something like that, because it's work without electricity, without internet, without anything. But civil usage, it's used SIP now.
So a question from an ignoramus point of view. I see offers for this internet telephone all the time, but I don't see the need for me because I use my smartphone and or else I'm online. But does an internet telephone work through your smartphone, or does it work through your computer, or does it work with a regular phone is my question. It doesn't work with
both three. It can work from
really? So you can still use internet phone on a.
I have my number by SIP telephony that landed in whatever device which I use now, computer, phone. When I go to the office, I still have the same number. I just put it in my desk phone. When I go back to home, I put it in another phone. So number it's travel with me like this. And when I commute, it's landed to my smartphone.
Okay, so this is new.
But
I don't
actually, Actually, just I don't know, just a tradition maybe or something like that I should have this phone, because usually I have like 3 or 4 calls by year, so not much.
I have had people join Skype calls from different devices and had all sorts of troubles, and I don't understand how that works. So I don't know why that's not more common here. I don't hear. I've never heard of SIP before, other than to take a sip. Excuse me, a sip of water.
It must be abbreviation or something, but SIP is industrial standard. We have a lot of just devices. I mean, some small device you put internet from one side and your phone from another side, and it start to work.
So you're not talking SIM cards. You're talking something else. Yeah.
So my old telephone worked with this system. Only I had to plug to the router, and that's it.
Interesting. Maybe that works here, and I just don't know it. Something else for Holly to research. I don't need more to research. I'm trying to get down my pile of things to learn about.
But you got rid of your 2006 thing, so that's the new thing for you on your to-do list.
Right, it's progress. It's the year of better. So my goal is to have it be a year of better. So as long as I go to bed at night and feel I've done something toward better, I'm okay.
I think nowadays everyone has the same problem. I used different services like Pocket or others like I know Reader. It's help you to save articles for future reading. You see something, you think I don't have time now. Click, you will read it later. Okay, once a few months I change this device, I change this service because it's already full. I cannot read all that. I need another one. And now I have queue of queries, so I can choose.
Yeah, cool.
Crazy how all that works. Wow. So Gerard, are you staying for a while? Are you on a vacation again?
No, not really. I came to help my sister with a computer problem.
Oh, you're doing that, I can see. No problem anymore.
There's also a new trend in many families, right? You have that certain family member who is the go-to for technology troubles. I had to email my brother a few weeks ago about something, and I was so angry. I tried for weeks to resolve it myself and then couldn't. And I finally emailed and said, I hate doing this, but I can't figure this out. Help me, please. And then before he answered, I figured it out. That was what it needed, was for me to stoop low enough to ask for help, and then the answer came. Oh well. But many times it's children that you go to. Rubber duck driven development. See, we never know what will come up when I need to learn more. So enlighten us, please.
But I shared it many times. It's a very common joke or common technology. We have, rubber duck on our desk. And if you came to problem, before you go to colleague and explain your problem, you should explain this problem to this rubber duck. When you do that, usually your problem is solved.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I didn't talk to a rubber duck, but I think I talked to just about everything else around.
You should say husband that you are going to, because otherwise we'll probably think that you are
He
crazy.
doesn't want to hear it. Just goes and closes.
Yeah. Go and talk to Robert Duck. He will say, okay.
Yeah. And he talks out loud. That's when he talks out loud. But if I dare to offer to help, it's like, get the hell out. He doesn't want me to respond. He just wants to beef out loud. Yeah.
Gerard, do you talk out loud? Do you talk to yourself?
Not really.
Not really. So it's silence all the time at your apartment.
Yeah,
Only when you talk with us.
my mind talks inside my mind. I told him.
Ah. Okay.
Do any of you hum like I do?
Sometimes, but Božena does not like my singing or humming, nothing. So she prefers to talk, when she's chatting all the time.
I swear.
Yeah,
I
swear
hum,
usually.
I hum a lot when I'm, and actually it was a good thing. I didn't hum for almost 9 months, and then after Loop, and when things went so bad, I think it was the first time in years, and it wasn't. That was when I knew I was getting better. Was when all of a sudden I was humming again. But it annoys a lot of people. Some people love it, and then other people really wish Holly would go silent. But it's very difficult because I'm not aware that I'm doing it until it's pointed out. So Warren will come in and put his face real close in front of mine and just sort of give me that look. And I'm like,
you know what I really hate? When you're sitting at a concert and you're trying to enjoy the music, and someone very, very appreciatively sings along with the singer. Oh my goodness. And that's awful. Don't do that when you're in the audience, just
this
at
is
home.
what
It's not a
happens
bad
at
thing.
many audiences.
Yeah, sometimes, but
It amazes me how many cell phones make noises after the very clear instructions to please silence your phone.
yeah, people don't hear that.
They're not people that are standing at the back so that they can sneak out for an emergency call either. They're right down in the middle, front and center, and
Yeah.
whatever.
What's the reaction? What's the reaction of the rest of the audience? Are they just looking at them really angrily?
A lot of tisking, and some people will speak out loud.
But I don't know is it correct name, but GSM Jam or something like this. It's a device that switch off all your phones, and we have them in theaters and schools, so it's not a problem.
Really?
Yeah. So in our theater, you should not explain people. Please switch it off. It's just off, but you have warning on the entry door. On that.
Yeah,
I think it's impossible. It is impossible in America because this is the human rights violation.
I think so. I think maybe I've seen it once in a government building. But I don't know. I mean, I know about these jam devices.
So government buildings do not care about people's rights, right? So just have all your
welcome to America, right?
Yeah. But,
no hypocrisy here whatsoever.
No, of course not.
Do the NSA cares about your privacy?
Of course they do. Of course they do. It's their job.
Sure.
The job. Yeah. Ask us no then.
They're more concerned with what Ivan's up to over there. It's so crazy. And now drones are weird. Drones are increasingly strange, the things that are happening with drones, and drone photography is supposed to be the new thing. So I thought it was weird when people had their selfies taking pictures of grizzly bears and whatever, and now people are trying to get their drones into the scariest situation possible, so they're completely oblivious to what's physically right there. They're all up with where their drone's going.
But speaking about these drones and photography, I didn't watch this Olympiad in Korea, but I watched previous one in Sochi, and because of these drones, it was just fantastic movies, because it's follow. What's the name for the skier, right? Follow skier, all these tricks. It's just like a movie, like made by Hollywood or something.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, true. And the GoPro, do any of you have this GoPro camera?
I have an analog, not exactly GoPro, but the same thing.
Similar, yeah. Have you experimented with it much?
It's for my dog mostly. My dog have it on his, what's the name for that? Behind his head,
Collar?
neck.
Collar?
Or,
Okay.
what we call that? For horses?
Collar.
Collar,
On
yeah?
the back on his collar or the scruff of his neck.
Yeah. And I bought it because it was very interesting for me what my dog is doing when I go to what's the name for it?
No
Cross country.
privacy. Even dogs do not have privacy in Russia.
Well, it's usually interesting because when I go by sky on my skis, my dog walk around. I cannot see him like constantly. From time to time he appears and disappears, but we are in forest and I'm interested what he's doing. He's hunting or just accompany me from which distance and so on. So I bought him collar with GPS and this device, and it was fantastic movie. Yeah, it was fantastic movie because and I found that he is always watching me. He is always watching me like from different points, and it's interesting. So it's a good operator, of movie of my life.
Documentary about Ivan from the dog's perspective.
So those kinds of things are fascinating for me. I'm thinking now about how much drones can help with research.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But there's an awful lot of weird things that technology is bringing to my life.
Actually, I had only two movies from this dog device, and then he go swim and lost this device.
Why did you explain to him that just swimming is not good thing for this camera?
I explain it, but something went wrong.
So probably you should have some practice with the rubber duck first, and then to explain it to him.
Yeah, like this.
The dog whisperer.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh goodness! I just put up this week. I did it, which felt nice. And Warren hasn't seen it yet. He'll be home this week, and he'll be impressed, I think. But I put up a 150-foot fence, so a hugely increased Magnus's little runaround area when he goes through his dog door and goes outside. My hope was that he would have a big enough space that sometimes I wouldn't have to walk him so much and he could do his business out in some far corner, but that hasn't worked so far.
Yeah.
And I have bad karma with those devices because after my dog lost one, we bought another one, and it was small helicopter that follow me and or someone else, and it has a manual remote, and my boy take it and run it in some tree somewhere, and we could not reach this place, so it walked like for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh my, yeah. I imagine you're not the only one with a story like that, right? Of running into disaster. I just think the distraction of so many technological devices are changing our brains, and in some ways for the better, maybe, and in some ways really scary. Maybe it's because I wasn't born to it and I'm older, but the distraction level is disturbing to me.
Well, I think it's just, the thing is that what is the purpose of all this? If it is just for fun, it's one thing. When, as you mentioned, it is you buy all those devices for some research, for some goal in mind. It's a different thing. So, actually, it's a cute experiment to put it on the dog collar. It's interesting, and I've never thought about that before. Ivan, just opened my eyes to that. Probably it would be nice to have that from the cat's perspective, from the dog's perspective. Cute documentary. I like that. Nice.
Yeah, I enjoyed it very much because you don't think in those categories.
Absolutely.
How he reacts, how he watched. It's from human points of view. It's too harsh. This way. So it's very fast, very dynamic, and I just can. I had to slow down the video to understand what is happening, where he's watching. Yeah.
Okay, cool, interesting. So probably for some movie directors, just there are a lot of movies for kids about animals, and so it would be nice kind of research before the movie to know what's going on in real life, and make it convincing. I like that.
Yeah, and more of us will have more and more time to watch. My reading, a lot of research apparently is showing that our willingness to watch length is shrinking. But kind of makes me wonder if classes should be 10 minutes. I don't know. It's it's changing me, certainly. I laugh when I think back to the days when I would do my intentional digital detox, and now detox doesn't last as long.
Just like half an hour.
Yes, time is definitely different now. Time flow is definitely different. For instance, when we read some books from Diana Book Club, I read these old books, and I understand that nowadays if we take one paragraph, maybe one sentence, because it's it's too simple, too naive story for nowadays. We cannot put so much attention to those details, to explain everything so detailed. So it's like book, and the same happens with me when I watch old movies, like something with Hitchcock or something like this. One idea for 1 hour. Wow, it's impossible.
Hitchcock is a great example. Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes I watch a half hour of a sitcom and just try and keep track of all the things that happen in one episode now. And then I go back and watch something like All in the Family or something, and it's like
I definitely a fan of sitcom show 30 Rock by Tina Fey. I fan because 5 minutes of this show has a page of Wikipedia of explaining all these jokes. And it's so hard to follow me. So one time I read that, and when I understood, I decided, no, it's too much for me. If I get one joke from these 5 minutes, it's enough for me. It's enough, even if it had 1,000. But it's make me possible to watch it again and get another one,
I don't know if anyone catches all of the innuendo that they pack into.
Right. Actually, it happens to me all the time. Like I enjoy sometimes by the end of the day when I want to relax and not to think about what is going on around me, I just watch my favorite shows. I watch them in English, and every time I find something what I missed the previous time. It's just amazing how much you can find. Okay, I start hearing for example, the idiom that I didn't know before, and then I read something and find. So I am able to hear that now. So it's so interesting to watch it and to rewatch some episodes and find something new. That's a good practice.
I'm finding that with this first year of Trump, there's so much has happened, and I clip out and save political cartoons that I have appreciated. And sometimes it takes me a while to connect the dots and remember what the heck it's about anymore, because so much.
Yeah.
So when you put that in perspective and think Tina Fey, I can easily imagine that it would be difficult to follow all that's packed into.
Yeah.
People.
Sometimes it's not about language. Sometimes it's about context. It's about local things and
Yeah.
about previous shows and so on, the common cultural code and so on. But I usually enjoy it, and I definitely appreciate this work. People who can explain all that to us, ordinary watchers. What happens there. I don't know how they do that, but it's interesting.
And how quickly they do it now, right? I mean,
Right.
what used to take months of
Yeah, because sometimes people, for instance, Teacher Lee sometimes asks me something about Russian politics, and to explain one little thing, I have to explain 10 years of previous story, and I understand how hard it is.
Yeah.
Definitely. And it's like there have been many people bringing up Vietnam recently, and wow, what that stirs up in us. The world hasn't gotten a whole lot better since then in many locations, but
Not really, yes.
never seem to learn. But but some things can really reconnect and make you realize that the culture that's made you who you are today. I think of that with Gerard and Catalonia and all that's been happening and not happening and suppressed and in the Middle East. Yeah. The little bits of culture that I've learned to appreciate more and think about more. There's so much. It's a deep well. Yeah, Gerard.
Actually, was a question. What about the weapons problem in America? Is anything going to change?
What problem?
Weapons.
Weapons.
Weapon.
Yeah. Another cheerful subject, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, nope is pretty much the short answer. I still, there are more people, more young people getting involved, and that might make a difference a few years from now. But not a lot of difference, I don't think. I just will never understand why anyone needs an assault rifle in the US. But one thing that's horrible, I forget if it's 3 or 5, I think 5 states out of 50. Right now, only 5 states have this extra background protection check required that prevents someone with a known mental illness from owning a gun, buying a gun. Only 5. Why is that? And it's because of our laws, because there are so many ways for the wrong people to say he or she can't have a gun because he or she went to a therapist once. There are so many ways that to put that in a probably wrong direction. But the laws just, our Constitution and the laws make it a huge battle, and the power of the NRA.
The lobby or the laws?
Yeah, both, right? The NRA is the lobbying, the wealth and the money and the lobbying, but the laws themselves are, and our constitutional law, basic, is a huge part of the problem.
But I think that America doing is great job. It's a very important job. They're showing us to rest of the world what will happen if you do the same. So we should be thankful to America because of this law. Yeah. And I have to go. I'm sorry. It was a pleasure for you. Bye bye.
Yeah, it's almost time. All right, bye bye. Yeah. And so many people still follow all the stupid things this country does. I don't. Yeah. All right. One of you come up with something fun for a last laugh before we go. Talking about this week's news is not likely to be on the success. Yeah, no, it's it was hard for me was when the same week it happened, busload of kids went to the Florida legislature and sat there crying as the legislature declined to bring up the issue on their agenda. They voted it down, and it's just, yeah, the process and the laws are, the lawyers get wealthy and keep us in stupid soup of trying to figure it out and go forward. So it seems so obvious, so damned obvious, but yeah.
It's very sad.
It is certainly very sad. Yeah. Lots of that. Spent a lot of my week that sad. Yeah. But that doesn't make it better.
What about the solution? All the teachers should be armed. That's what the president says. It's such a stupid.
Yeah. He's a master of those stupid things.
They like to remind us that it's been since 2013 in Texas. After a shooting there, it was put through, and there are armed teachers in Texas. I would never put my child in a public school in Texas. I would never live in Texas, but it is legal there. That is part of the solution. What terrifies me just from my own experiences is that's just asking for it to be worse, because you have one teacher in a class full of 30 kids bigger than you. Who's going to have the gun? I mean, why is that sensible? I just don't. No. Yeah.
So a group of kids assault the teacher.
20%. He only wants 20% of the teachers to. Wow. Yeah. Sad. It's so alien to my innocent experience. It makes me wonder how many of my neighbors have guns. I don't want to know.
Right. It's better not to know.
Most likely, yeah. All right. I'm really glad to talk with you again, Diane.
Yeah. Yes, I'm really glad to be here.
Yeah, and
I'll really try. I will try to come regularly. At least maybe not every week, but I will really try because I enjoy seeing you smiling, at last.
Again.
Little more often.
Yeah, very nice. So and spring is coming. Let's hope, and you will have your flowers again. And you have daffodils now. So yeah,
a lot of mud out there right now. We've had a lot of rain, which is great. We were really dry, but but yeah, I want to get out there. I just can't yet. We probably have some more winter coming, but
yeah, probably. But still, it is it's better. So spring is around the corner.
Yes, thank goodness. Yeah, we can almost count days. All right, take care.
Yeah, you too.